getting dragged down by that stuff could be
Yeah,
really
and
nasty.
Especially if you get into a Twitter feud. Oh my God.
yeah, and that kind of ties into something I want to talk about, which is like, public image. And
Mm.
as a streamer, and I think I really want Brandon to answer this, because not only does he stream, but he also has had several jobs in the industry as well.
Yes,
So
I was about to read that.
Oh
like,
yeah.
your image is so important, and
Yeah.
companies will look at your Twitter. Like, Brandon,
Yeah.
how has being on both sides of the coin made you like think about not only your Twitter, but like what kind of things have you come across that are just like
It, it has
like
definitely
it
been very
affects like
interesting.
like your relationship, right? Like,
Yeah. Just in general, like, just kind of bring back to the point we were talking about before. What I learned to not like kind of answer every negative thing that happens is working for companies and being on their company accounts where like someone's like, I hate your game or I hate your program, this and that, blah blah, and I can't respond in, well, you don't have to use it. You know what I mean? I have to take it into consideration, think about it. So that kind of helped me out a lot to not do that myself. But there's been plenty of times I have wanted to do that, but I can't. But for my public image, it's just like I put myself out there as the person that I wanted to see when I was, trying to make a name for myself as a streamer. Like, I didn't know anybody who was like giving information or advice on how to do stuff. So I kind of taken that upon myself and being like, hey, I don't want any streamer who's out there wondering how to, like, I don't know, start a meetup or start something up on their own. Like, I'm willing to give that information to them. But yeah, it's a weird balance, like, because I am a streamer, but then I work with streamers, so I have to like make sure like I don't blend the two together, and also be very mindful of what I say, because a lot of people will take that and kind of dissect it and be like, oh, are you talking about something that happened with the streamer that you work with? I'm like, no, I'm just like talking about something. So it's
People want to find drama.
People want to find
yeah.
drama, and most of the times I stay away from it, which is really weird. It's like when I like have a discussion with a person on Twitter, I look like I'm in a fight with people for some reason.
Which I never understand.
I don't
that.
understand that. They're like, you're in a fight with people all the time on Twitter. I'm like, because
because people want to find drama, but it's like, it's like, no, I'm just like, if I was actually mad, I wouldn't even be in this conversation right now.
Yeah.
Or I just like DM you, like I've had times where like friends will be like, hey, if we disagree or whatever, and they're like, hey, are you mad at me? And I'm like, no, I'm like, we disagree, but I still love you. Like, that's fine. Yeah. Like, it's okay. So I think Twitter's that double-edged sword where it can be very great and positive, but you also have to be careful because people will read into it no matter what. And at a certain point, like, there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to be like, I don't know, if you want to see me as that person, go ahead.
Okay, so just speaking from like the industry side and stuff, like I just like tweeted this today, like everybody industry talks, like people, we're all friends.
Oh yeah.
Like, so people's reputations, there's been plenty of times where like someone was going off on Twitter, like in a crazy controversial way. And I've like been in conversations with people like, yeah, we're probably not going to work with that person anymore. And I was like, oh, yikes. People have to be very mindful of what they say and what they put out there, because I mean, a company may not say anything to you, but like if you reach out to them and they decide not to, you want to look back in your history of what you've like said or done in the past that could have affected that. Reputation is everything. That's why I tell that to everybody. So
yeah.
And your reputation, your history is visible and stays because of social media too.
Yeah,
it's not just word of mouth anymore. Like you can actually go back and find that thing.
Like I remember what happened. The very first the second social media job I had, it wasn't in the gaming industry. It was like I was working for the Illinois Lottery, and the first day I walked in, they were like, "Hey, you know what? We want like give us like we're gonna add you on Facebook." Like they went through my stuff and just was like trying to make sure
on Facebook.
Yeah, which was weird. I was like, Facebook.
Oh no, Facebook is like a no touchy zone.
Yeah, so it's Facebook, and they went through that, and like obviously I'm not sitting there talking about like the Illinois Lottery, so that was fine. But like I have come across like different opportunities where they will like fine tooth comb like through your social media, see if you ever talk bad about like a product of theirs or the company, or like have been very against like them or
especially for sponsorships considerations.
That's a big one, because when I worked for XSplit a lot, when I was working for XSplit, there'd be people saying like I love XSplit, and then like they'll be tweeting that like they're using OBS, and I'm like, okay, well that we can't do that. So it's very, 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 you got to be on that.
And I think too, like on the other end of it, I definitely think it's possible to rebuild some stuff too. Like if you do like, I mean, like do your best not to mess up huge, you know, but like as someone who has like butt heads with people unintentionally and sometimes intentionally, I've definitely like just been like, all right, well, I'm probably going to take a hit from whatever happened or whatever backlash happened from that. But realize you messed up, and then work your best to like, and not like fake it, but like be like, all right, I just am not going to make that mistake again in the future, because the best way you're going to learn is by making mistakes. I'm not saying go out and make a ton of them. Yeah. Please learn from our mistakes, but also like, you're not going to please everyone. You're definitely going to mess up. You're going to have times where fights start or something happens. And I think the best thing you can do is take information we're giving you and be smart about it. You know, take your time. Don't respond. You don't have to respond to everything. You can change